We got this! Bring it on!
Just when you thought Moana had conquered every challenge the ocean could throw at her, the sequel pulled the rug right out from under us. Moana dies. Yes, really. In one of the most shocking twists in Disney history, Moana sacrifices herself to lift Nalo's curse on the island of Motu Fetu. Her body lies motionless. Maui grieves. Her ancestors watch in solemn silence. And then she returns, brought back not just by the ocean, but seemingly by something greater. This isn't just a revival, it's a rebirth. Moana doesn't just come back, she comes back different, changed, and now possibly a demigod. But what exactly does that mean? Moana's death wasn't just an emotional climax, it was the turning point of her entire journey. In that moment of sacrifice, she stepped into the same space as the great heroes and gods of old, and when she returned, the ocean wasn't just responding to her bravery, it was obeying her. Her revival, shrouded in mystery, hints at divine intervention, perhaps even the direct touch of the gods themselves, not merely ocean spirits. And that's where the biggest question begins. What powers does Moana now possess? We know her powers were earned. She wasn't handed anything. But even so, their exact nature remains hidden. That mystery is what makes Moana's transformation so exciting. The possibilities are wide open, and considering her deep connection to mythology, ancestral spirits, and the gods, we may be witnessing the birth of a uniquely powerful demigod, one that embodies more than just brute strength or flashy magic. Let's talk about one of the most iconic powers in Polynesian mythology, shapeshifting. Maui did it with his magical fishhook, turning into birds, sharks, and more. Could Moana have gained a similar gift? Maybe, but with her twist. Look back at her spiritual bond with her grandmother Tala, who took the form of a manta ray, or her ancestor Taasa, linked to the whale shark. This isn't random. These animals carry meaning. Moana's own spiritual identity is tied to the ocean, so if she does shapeshift, she'll likely transform into a creature of the sea, possibly a dolphin, a whale, or even a shark. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. This kind of transformation wouldn't just be about power, it would reflect her lineage, her heritage, and the animals her ancestors were connected to.
I don't bite.
That kind of power also mirrors the goddess Matangi, known for her bat-like form. It shows us that each demigod or god often channels an animal form that represents their essence. For Moana, whose strength comes from empathy, courage, and connection, her shapeshifting wouldn't just be cool, it would mean something. And this might be just the start, because if Moana truly has become a demigod, shapeshifting could be one piece of a much bigger divine puzzle. A puzzle we'll explore even more when we dive into her control over the ocean, her connection to spirits, and the path the gods may have set for her in Moana 3. Moana's resurrection wasn't just magical, it felt sacred. It signaled something deeper than just a heroic reward. For the gods to intervene in such a profound way, it suggests Moana has caught their attention in a way few mortals ever do. She may have crossed the line between human and divine, not just physically, but spiritually. This opens the door to something even more powerful than strength or transformation: communication. In ancient mythology, those who were chosen by the gods often acted as messengers or even their voice in the mortal world. Could Moana now carry the voice of the gods? It's not far-fetched. She's shown wisdom, courage, and compassion, qualities that divine beings might trust. If so, she may now be responsible for delivering divine warnings, prophecies, or even blessings to her people. That's not just power, it's responsibility. She might become a bridge between the spiritual and earthly realms, guiding her people not only through the seas, but through the will of higher powers. From the very beginning, Moana's relationship with the ocean set her apart. It chose her, it protected her, it responded to her even when she was a child. But now, things might be different. In Moana 2, there's a scene that subtly hints at a major shift. She uses her oar to part the water, not just with the ocean's cooperation, but with what feels like command. It's brief, but powerful. That moment hints at a new kind of control. She's not just working with the ocean anymore. She might be able to manipulate it. Picture Moana summoning tidal waves, creating whirlpools, or even calming storms with a single movement. That would elevate her role from navigator to protector of the seas. And since the ocean in Moana's world is sentient, it wouldn't be surprising if their bond has evolved into a deeper form of communication, maybe even telepathic. Imagine her sensing danger across distant waters, or calling the ocean to defend her village. If this is the direction her powers are headed, then Moana isn't just connected to the ocean. She might now be its master.
And wrecking my
Wayfinding is in Moana's blood. Her ancestors were voyagers, fearless explorers who crossed vast oceans guided only by the stars and instinct. In her journey, she didn't just reclaim that legacy, she redefined it. But the story doesn't end there. The second film introduces Ta'asa, the last great wayfinder, whose journey ended in failure and left a stain on their ancestral pride. Moana's success redeems that legacy, but it may also unlock something new. If the gods have truly chosen her, then her gift of navigation might now surpass even the greatest voyagers of legend. She may now possess supernatural wayfinding, an ability to detect uncharted islands, navigate through impossible storms, or even sense shifts in the ocean's currents that others can't perceive. This wouldn't just make her a better sailor. It would make her the key to discovering new civilizations and bridging distant cultures. Imagine Moana leading her people into a new era of exploration, guided not just by maps, but by divine instinct. She wouldn't just be retracing the steps of her ancestors, she'd be carving out entirely new paths across the ocean, perhaps even ones the gods intended her to find.
She stands apart from the crowd. She loves the sea and her people. She makes her whole family proud.
Moana's bond with the spiritual world has always been one of the most significant aspects of her journey. Throughout the Moana films, she frequently communicates with her grandmother, Tala, and even the spirit of Ta'asa, her ancestor. These interactions transcend typical memories or lessons. They are profound, living connections that guide Moana in ways no one else experiences. It's not just about advice or comfort, but about guidance from the afterlife, a responsibility passed down through generations. As a demigod, this connection could deepen. She's already proven herself to be a worthy vessel for ancient knowledge and wisdom, but now that she's more than human, she might find herself able to interact with spirits in new and more powerful ways. She could call on the spirits of her ancestors for assistance in battle, guidance on her journey, or even to speak directly to the gods themselves. Imagine Moana standing at the shore, surrounded by the spirits of her people, calling upon them to aid her in times of need. Her spiritual connection could now extend beyond just her grandmother, and Ta'asa became an essential part of her powers. This would allow Moana not only to honor her ancestors, but also to act as their representative in the living world, carrying their mission and legacy forward as a demigod.
Maui?
Boat snack! Oh! Boat snack upgrade, bacon and eggs? Why didn't you bring the pig last time?
If you thought Moana's journey had reached its peak, think again. The Moana 2 mid-credit scene offers a tantalizing glimpse into her future. In this brief but impactful moment, it's clear that Moana's story isn't over. Her new demigod status is not merely a power boost. It signals the start of a larger journey. The continuation of her story suggests that Moana's growing powers will be key to facing larger challenges that lie ahead. Could Nalo, the villain from the second film, return as a formidable threat? Or perhaps a new, more dangerous force will emerge, one that Moana can only confront using her newfound powers? Maybe we'll even see conflicts between gods themselves, with Moana caught in the middle, tasked with restoring balance. Whatever the case, the teasers point to an even more epic adventure in the future. Moana's journey from an island girl to a demigod suggests she's on the brink of something massive. A story not just about her personal growth, but about saving her people, her world, and maybe even the gods themselves. What Moana could face in the third film, both as a leader and a demigod, is still unclear. But one thing is certain, her powers will be crucial to overcoming whatever threats arise, and this next chapter might be her most legendary yet. What do you think of Moana's transformation into a demigod? How do you imagine her new powers impacting her journey? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting insights on Moana's future adventures.